Virgo, what's going on with you? Come on in, have a seat, make yourself comfortable. My name's Alan Hill from UnknownTruthTarot.com. Welcome back to another Virgo love reading. Today we are going to take a look at how your romantic person of interest really feels about you here in June 2024. We're also going to look at what they're thinking about you and what their intentions are toward you as we move through June 2024. We're also going to take a look at what this person's most likely to actually do as it relates to you moving through June 2024 and beyond. Looks like we're ready to talk already. I'm also going to finish the reading off by getting you some advice from the universe on how to best navigate the situation you're finding yourself in with this person as we move through the rest of June 2024 and beyond. So let's get started. Let's get 3 cards for how does this romantic person of interest for Virgo really feel about Virgo in June 2024, please. Let's get one more. How do they feel? Thank you. All right. Underlying this person's feelings for you, Virgo, 5 of Wands. This is Leo energy. 5s are conflict. Wands are about desires. So this is a conflict in their desires, an internal conflict that they're having related to you. Usually this is where a piece of someone wants this thing and another piece of them wants pretty much the opposite of that. And now they're torn between these two things and they're playing this internal battle of tug of war in terms of what it is that they actually want. This can sometimes represent that there's an internal conflict in the connection between the two of you where they want one thing and you want something pretty much the opposite of that. Instead of pulling in the same direction, you're playing tug of war with each other. It could represent either of those. I have King of Pentacles right behind that. This is either Virgo or Taurus energy. Typically, this is like a husband type of an energy, like a provider type of an energy. Doesn't necessarily mean you actually are married to this person. It can just represent that they're viewing themselves in that light, or maybe viewing you in that light, depending on how that resonates for you. Take it however it works in your situation. This is usually like feeling like husband, or it can just be like the committed person that's trying to build their life around you, or they're viewing you as the person trying to build your life around them. But there's some sort of a conflict there related to husband type energy. And now I have the 6 of Wands behind that, more Leo energy. This is a card of recognition, either them being recognized for something or more likely them coming to some sort of a recognition themselves, and whatever they're recognizing is allowing forward movement to happen here. It's like being internally conflicted about being the other half of the equation, about us building a life together, but then I recognize something that allows me to move forward here. Not 100% sure what that means yet. When I look at what actually is in their feelings about you, we get the Temperance card, 10 of Swords, and the Moon. Temperance is, whoa, hey, come here. It's the Sagittarius Major Arcana card. This is a card of patience. It's a card about blending 2 things together to make something new, but being patient about it, doing it little bits at a time, and not being in a big rush, and being willing to come back in and make some fine-tuning adjustments to something. I get this card a lot when something is dramatically out of balance, and this is like a, let's make some adjustments to it. Let's recalibrate that and try and balance it back out a little bit more. Sometimes this is an energy of reconciliation here, because in tarot, water represents love and emotions, and here the love has been separated into 2 different cups, and it's being recombined back together here, like reconciling the situation. Central in their feelings about you, we have the 10 of Swords. This is Gemini energy of a swift, painful ending to something. Sometimes this is an ending that you don't see coming, hence the swords in the back. Sometimes it's an ending in betrayal, hence the swords in the back. So there's an internal conflict here about putting it back together or just calling it dead and over with. And I think the internal conflict stems from this Moon card. The Moon is Pisces energy of fear, worry, and anxiety. It's usually caused by uncertainty. Like when the moon's out, it's dark outside. You can't see the full path in front of you. It's easy to get turned around and start asking questions like, am I still on the right path? Was this even the right path to begin with? Did I make a wrong turn somewhere? Should I turn around and go back? So just that level of uncertainty can be enough to make somebody have fear, worry, and anxiety. The negative side of the Moon card is that it can represent something being hidden in the dark or a secret being kept. it's feeling like uncertainty here. Like I'm torn between, can we put it back together or is it over? I got this husband, like building my life with you type of an energy, and then recognizing something about moving forward. That's their feelings. Let's take a look at what this person's thinking about you, Virgo. What is this person thinking about Virgo in June 2024, please? Okay. Underlying their thoughts, Knight of Wands. Knights are action takers, and wands, again, are about passion and desire. So this is about rushing forward and taking some rapid, passionate action on something there's a lot of passion and desire for. This sometimes gets referred to as the player of the tarot deck. It can be this really wishy-washy, in and out, back and forth kind of an energy, someone who can't make up their mind, someone who's being a player, going back and forth between two different people, playing both sides of the fence. Sometimes this is like a non-committal energy, in the sense if it's someone who doesn't stay fully committed to what they say they want, where at first they say they want something and then they're all gung-ho about it and they're taking all this rapid action toward making that happen, but then something will happen and they'll pull back and go a different way and kind of change their mind a little bit. Sometimes they run back and forth and can't stay committed to either idea of either we're putting it back together or it's dead. Could be the whole reason that it's dead right now is because they were keeping a secret, and it could be that they were being a player here and they're doing some thinking about that. Knight of Cups right behind it. So I got two different knights, two different action takers here, one based on passion and desire, one based on love and emotions. This is moving forward with a love offer, romantic gestures of some kind, romantic offers, trying to advance a love offer or a love connection here, trying to move forward with it. To get to this 10 of Cups, this is Pisces energy of happily ever after, happy fairy tale romance that we all want. This is most people's goal in terms of love and relationships. The problem with this card is it's the card that gets more people in trouble than any card in the tarot deck, because we all want that happily ever after so bad, and we all want to believe that the relationship I'm in is this 10 of Cups, that it causes us to be kind of self-delusional. We'll delude ourselves, we'll lie to ourselves, we'll sweep stuff under the rug, we'll ignore red flags that we see and try and pretend like that stuff's not there. Because if any of that stuff is true, then this 10 of Cups can't be true. And I want this to be true. So it just causes us to like not pay attention, or even worse yet, be in denial about things and avoid looking at stuff that's clearly right there. So when I get this card, it either means one of two things. Either we're talking about a real true love type of a situation, or we're talking about that's what we wish it was. That would be like the difference between what it is versus what I want it to be. Like, how much money do I want to be in my bank account versus how much is there in reality. So this can be that like, which side of it does it fall on here? And it's kind of hard to say that this is true love when I've got two different knights going two different directions here. Sure, there's a piece of them that loves you, but there's also this wishy-washy bullshit piece of them too, which is probably what that 5 of Wands on the bottom of the deck was about, that internal struggle between those two elements of themselves. When I look at what's actually out here in their thinking as it relates to you, I get the Queen of Swords, the Hierophant, and the 7 of Cups. Queen of Swords is Libra energy. This is she who knows the truth. She's about speaking the truth on something and then cutting off the thing or the person that is no longer in her best interest. I get her when she's like, when there's this, usually a conversation where difficult questions are being asked and then some truth gets spoken, and because of that there's a severing in the connection, which is probably why, again, 10 swords are out here, probably why it's tied to this Sagittarius energy of trying to be patient about it, trying to blend it back together after it's been severed. This would indicate that you found out what the truth was. And that's why she holds her hand out. She knows the truth, but she's also very fair. She's going to give the other person a chance to tell their side of the story. Like, here, speak your truth to me. But when the truth you tell her doesn't match the truth she already knows, that's when she cuts your head off with the sword. She's the off with your head queen. So it's looking like there was a severing because the truth got found out that I did see Six of Wands, recognition happening. That's probably what led to it. You recognized what shady stuff they were up to. Also central to their thinking about you, Virgo, is the Hierophant. This is the Taurus Major Arcana card. This is a card of commitment. It's a card of being like committed to something bigger than themselves in a relationship. That usually represents being fully committed to the relationship, taking it to the next level of like living together, being married. This is typically referred to as a marriage card. I did see King of Pentacles, but no Queen of Pentacles. That would indicate that they're viewing themselves as husband, but you're not showing up in that same light here. You're showing up as Queen of Swords, the one that severed it. Again, tied to this commitment. We got the Ten of Swords, a swift, painful ending to that. Probably one that they didn't see coming. Probably didn't think they were going to get found out. The final card in their thinking about you is the Seven of Cups. This is Scorpio energy of options and choices and confusion about their options and choices. There's a lot of different cups here. There's a lot of different ways this situation could play itself out. And there's a lot of emotions involved, and they don't want to pick the wrong cup and make some kind of a mistake that they regret later. But these clouds of smoke can represent clouded judgment, clouded decision making. Sometimes this can represent someone being intoxicated, having a drinking or a drug issue going on. Sometimes that clouds of smoke are just someone blowing clouds of smoke to obscure your vision so you can't see all the options that they have. I get this a lot when you know the truth already and they're trying to convince you that that's not actually the truth. It's something different, and they're trying to obscure your vision, obscure your judgment. It's tied to this moon, which can be an illusion, a secret being kept, something being hidden in the dark. It's feeling like there's, even though you know the truth of the situation, it's still feeling like there's probably something that you don't know yet. And I don't think they want you to find that out. It even could be that they're trying to confuse your judgment here based on the commitment between the two of you. But it doesn't look like that's going to work. It's dead and over, and I got the Queen that cuts their head off here. Let's take a look at this person's intentions toward you as we move through the rest of June. What are this person's intentions toward Virgo as we move through June 2024, please? Taking you too, huh? No problem. Well, hard to argue with that. Underlying their intentions, Virgo, Page of Wands. Pages are messengers, so this is news and messages and communications about passion and desire. This is expressing interest, expressing desire, expressing what it is that they want, communicating about that stuff. It's also the minor arcana version of the Fool, which is about taking that blind leap of faith. The Fool is card 0, starting at the beginning or starting over at the beginning. This would be beginning stages of something, but this is more like the toned down version of the Fool. It's someone who's got the willingness to take the very first steps down a new path towards something there's passion and desire for. So it looks like they're having the willingness to kind of approach you and communicate what it is that they want. The Emperor right behind that, Aries Major Arcana energy. This is like taking control of a situation, taking charge of a situation. This is a master manifester energy in the sense of it's someone who has all the tools, abilities, and resources to put together a plan to get what they want, and then to execute that plan and get what they want. It's like a taking charge kind of an energy here. Looks like they're going to come forward and communicate what they want and then try to take charge and possibly force what they want to happen. I got the star right behind that, the Aquarius Major Arcana. This is hope. It's healing. It's the card that comes right after the Tower in the sequence of the Major Arcana. So you don't make it to the star energy without going through a tower of some kind first, where something important to them comes crashing down all around them. A lot of times that will be the collapse of the relationship. I see what looks like the severing of the connection here. Looks like the commitment between the two of you has been put to an end, and they're feeling that ending. This is having the hope that things can be healed and put back together. Trying to take control of that situation. Yeah, there's still this internal conflict behind all of that. Again, Leo energy. This is probably a conflict between whether or not we can heal it or not. A piece of them wants that or believes that, and another piece of them may not believe it. Another piece of them is definitely doing a lot of thinking about this Queen of Swords version of you and being confused about something here. And still feeling like hiding something as well. What's actually out here in their intentions, Virgo? Two of Cups, Six of Pentacles, the Lovers, and the Nine of Cups. Two of Cups is Cancer energy. It's a love connection between the two of you. It's also a two, and in tarot, twos represent choices or decisions of some kind. So this is a choice about the connection, or this is a choice between two different cups of love, a choice between lovers. This is feeling like it's about your connection. They're intending to keep this connection here in the top priority spot, even though the connection looks like it's been severed. They're trying to recombine the two of you back together. Next in their intentions, Six of Pentacles. This is Taurus energy of balance. This is you scratch my back, I scratch your back. You take care of me, I take care of you. It's equal give and take. It's trying to balance this commitment back out and trying to get it rebalanced here so we can keep it alive, because it's got 10 swords in it right now. I think this is them trying to overcome that. Next with the Lovers, this is the Gemini Major Arcana card. This is a powerful love connection, at least in terms of how they view it. A long time ago, this card used to be called the Choice. So this is really about the interconnectedness between people and how they can't make choices that don't affect you and vice versa. This is also a choice about the connection, just like this Two of Cups. This is the Major Arcana. This is the Minor Arcana version of this Lovers card. This can be a choice about the connection. It can be a choice between two different lovers. I do have that tied to this Seven of Cups, this options and choices and the obscured vision and the clouded judgment and decision making here. And it's also in the same column that's headed off by the moon. So there could be fear, worry, anxiety, and uncertainty and confusion about whether or not we can get the connection back. But there could just as easily be something hidden in the dark and some secret being kept related to the options that they had, and potentially a choice between two people is here. If that's the case, man, I don't like that. The other meaning to the Six of Pentacles, other than just trying to rebalance this connection, is it can represent the Merchant here, which would be your person giving to two people in the physical sense. And notice there's one kind of behind his back here, one that he's trying to obscure from vision, one that he's trying to keep hidden in the dark, keep secret. Could be that, because I got on either side of that card that could be giving to two people, I've got a choice either about the connection or a choice between two cups of love or two lovers here. The final card in your person's intentions, Virgo, Nine of Cups. So I do see a lot of cups now in their intentions. A lot of emotions here, a lot of feelings. This is 9 cups. That's a step backwards from the 10 of cups that we saw in the underlying energy earlier, like that happily ever after that we all want. That's a combined together emotionally, pouring ourselves into each other, pouring our love into each other. This is single energy. This is personal happiness and personal wish fulfillment. This could just represent that your person is intending to stay single, but that doesn't make sense with, why I'm trying to recombine us, and looks like I'm trying to balance this out and bring it back from being dead. That could be that their personal happiness and wish fulfillment is now tied to this connection with you and getting it back. It could be that. It could also be like the negative side to this Nine of Cups is it can be a person who's very self-centered, very smug, very like me, myself, and I, and my own personal happiness is more important than yours. My happiness is more important than this connection or what's best for us. If my personal happiness is tied to a choice between two lovers and giving to two people in the physical sense, and there's the Two Cups again, and that could be problematic. So you're going to have to take that piece however it resonates for you. I feel like those are two complete opposite things there from the same cards. This could either be a person has all their happiness and personal happiness tied to balancing this connection out with you. It can just as easily be a person who's all me, myself, and I got two different people and I'm juggling both of you, and that's fully what I'm intending to do. Let's take a look at their most likely actions. What are this person's most likely actions going to be toward Virgo as we move through the rest of June 2024 and beyond? Thank you. Don't know if you noticed, but the set behind me probably looks a little bit different. I keep forgetting to say this in some of the videos, but I just moved from Ohio to Texas, which is why it's been a minute since I've done your last reading for you. Been doing a lot of personal readings in the meantime, but just trying to get everything moved and unpacked and set up. That's why it's taken me so long. Underlying their most likely actions, Virgo, Seven of Pentacles. This is Taurus energy of a period of time. It's either to pause and reflect and take stock of this connection, take stock of this situation, and trying to decide, is this ever going to grow into the Ten of Pentacles that they really want? Is this worth continuing to put my time, effort, and energy into this, or is it not going to pan out and maybe it's already too late here and maybe I should just cut my losses and move on? So this would be that period of time where they pause to reflect on that. The other option could be it's a period of time where the seeds have already been planted on something and they're just waiting on that to fully develop. They're waiting on something to pan out so that they can do something with it. If it's intending to get this connection back, it could be that they're waiting on that to pan out and see what happens. Could be that they're thinking about cutting their losses and move on too. I got Six of Swords here, Aquarius energy. This is moving forward into calmer waters. It's about leaving the rough, choppy waters of the past, in the past where they belong, moving away from some painful thing that's already happened and trying to move forward into their future toward what they want. There's an implied choice here, and the choice is about moving into the future. Like, do I carry the burden that this painful thing has caused into my future with me so it keeps weighing me down? Or do I carry forward the lesson that this painful thing taught me so that nothing like this ever happens again? I think they're still in this contemplative state about, am I moving forward or not? Or do I stay stuck in the past here? This Six of Cups is Scorpio energy of the past, thinking about the past, reminiscing about the past, the good old days, the way it used to be between the two of you. This represents a deep emotional connection. It represents history in this connection. I think they're wanting to move forward with you still, but I don't know that they're getting past the truth. I don't know if they believe that they can get past it. It looks like they want to, but then they're also in the past. This can represent a history of something. Right behind that is the player again. So this could be a person who has a history of being a player. Could be a person who in the past did some wishy-washy bullshit kind of stuff. And are they able to leave that behind them and not be that way anymore or not? When I look at what they're most likely to do, I get the Four of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Two of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. Again, a lot of cups here. A lot of love and emotions here. Four of Cups is Cancer energy of not being fully happy, not being fully emotionally content with what they have in front of them, to the point that they keep daydreaming about this other cup, this other thing that they believe is going to bring them their happiness and their fulfillment. That looks to be tied to the connection and balancing it out. These three cups can represent being united, and I'm not happy because we're not united, and that's what I'm thinking about now. I can't get you out of my head. That Three of Cups can also represent third-party love triangle, and I can't get this other person out of my head as well. Sometimes I'll get this when there's a love offer on the table between the two of you already, and you just haven't said yes or no to it. It's just the offer's been left hanging here in the air. Sometimes this could just be them contemplating making this love offer to you, trying to reconcile the situation, trying to get the connection back, but not doing it because they're worried about getting rejected here. Could be either of those two things. Looks like what they want to do is move forward, though. Knight of Cups, actions toward love and emotions. Advance the love offer, advance the love connection. Try to move forward in that. Try to balance it back out and get the commitment back. But at the top, something's ended it here. Next in their intentions, Two of Wands. This is Aries energy. It's a crossroads. It's a fork in the road for your person. It's a decision point about what is it that I really want my life to be like? What do I want for my world? And which of these two paths is going to get me to that? But you can't turn left and right at the same time. So this is the choice point of which path gets me to that and which path am I leaving behind. Hopefully they can leave behind this player stuff here. Hopefully they can leave behind these options. When I connect this up, though, there's a choice between lovers here. There's options and choices and confusion about what to pick, and either uncertainty about what to pick or secrets tied to these options in this potentially other person. And this is them making the choice here. And it looks, again, this is so blurred up here that I could take this next card as they're choosing to fill the cup back up with you and start over at square one in terms of love and emotions. Or I could take this to be like, and no matter what, I'm not happy, and there's always this new bright shiny cup that has my attention and that I'm thinking about, and I'm moving in that direction, and I'm making my choice to go with the new cup of love. So either way, whatever they're doing here with this cup of love is directly related to their own personal happiness and their own wish fulfillment, and there's nothing above that. This reading feels like it could go two different ways, so I'm assuming it's one way for you and the other way for the very next Virgo that's going to show up after you and watch this. So take it however it resonates for you, but that's your person's energy here in June 2024. Let's get you some advice from the universe on how you should navigate the situation you're finding yourself in with this person, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, how you should play this so things work out in the way that's best for you and your own greatest good. So what's the advice for Virgo on how to navigate this? What should they do? What should they not do? Not going to let me finish my sentence, and that's totally fine. Underlying your advice, Queen of Wands. This is either Leo or Aries energy. This is a bold, passionate, fiery, determined person that knows exactly what she wants. She goes after what she wants. She doesn't take no for an answer. Very driven, motivated, going after what I want kind of a person. This is telling me that you should make your choice based entirely on what it is that you want, not what anybody else wants, not what this person wants, not what friends and family members want. It's about you and what you want. I got 8 of Wands right behind that. So there's a lot of passion and desire here. This is Sagittarius energy. It's the second fastest moving energy in the deck. It's rapid back and forth, passionate communication, rapid forward movement on something, rapid progress on something. There's a lot of passion and desire for. It can represent travel. It can represent that there's just a whole lot of energy coming at you all at one time. And this would be like too much to handle at once, too much to process at once. It'd be like overwhelming feeling. Another wand, Page of Wands. This is the willingness to take the very first steps down a brand new path towards something you have passion and desire for. Don't think that's connected here. That's underlying your advice. What actually came out in your advice, Virgo? King of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, 9 of Wands, 5 of Wands. In your advice, I am getting a buttload of wands here. A lot of passion, a lot of desire, a lot of inspiration. Man, I didn't go far enough underlying your advice. This has a whole different spin on it now that I can see what this is about. This Queen of Wands, it's the fire element queen. It's the hot queen. So I would expect you to be Queen of Pentacles here. I'm seeing you as Queen of Swords, which tells me that you probably found out what their secret was, and that's why this ended. And it looks like they had another person. This would represent the other person. This would represent the person they have passion, desire, attraction toward. And then there's this overwhelming energy tied to that person. Like, that's too much for me to process and handle. This could also be a lot of passionate communications happening with that person, and forward movement in passion happening toward that person. Page of Wands is them having the willingness to take the first steps down that path. Passionately communicating, that usually is the first step. Expressing interest, expressing desire. Eight of Pentacles. And now, after all that, now is when you want to put the work in on this. Am I understanding you right? That's what this feels like it's saying. It's like, wait a minute, you had this other person and you were moving super fast in her direction, communicating with her. You had the willingness to take the first steps down that path to begin with. And now you want to work on it. Now you're trying to balance this out. Now you're not happy. And now you're trying to move forward and put me to a choice so we can fill this cup up. Queen of Swords again. It's like, that's out here in how they're thinking about you. This is she who knows the truth. This is feeling like you know what's up. They tried to hide it. They tried to obscure your vision. And it's like, this is like running into no, this ain't happening that way. Let me just tell you. And this is speaking the truth and cutting off the thing or the person that isn't in your best interest anymore. You might be having a struggle with doing that. The Strength card represents a difficult situation that you're finding yourself in, and it requires you to dig down deep inside yourself to tap into all your internal strength so you can make it through that. It can also represent you trying to tame this beast inside yourself and not rush off and do something too hasty, too quickly, and then end up regretting it later. So this would be like trying to pull that piece of yourself back and like not let it go running forward too fast. I don't think that's it. I think they put you in a difficult spot when they did what they did, and this is you going, ain't happening that way. I'm not having a repeat of that. When I look at what came out in your advice, I got King of Pentacles again, Knight of Wands again, Knight of Pentacles, Nine of Wands, and Five of Wands. There are way too many wands here. This King of Pentacles is either Virgo or Taurus energy. This is husband energy. This is like stable person that's building their life around you kind of an energy. That could be what you want. You want that kind of a person to build your life with. But I don't think that's who you got here with them. Part of the truth about them is we got that Knight of Wands, wishy-washy, in and out, back and forth, can't make up their mind, can't stay fully committed to this type of an energy that they said that they wanted, and they pull back and go a different way. It can represent the player, as in they were playing you and this other person here. Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight in the deck. This is very monotonous, make you want to pull your hair out kind of an energy here. It's very frustrating energy. Can also represent a person who knows what they're supposed to do, but just doesn't do it for some reason. Or even the opposite. They know what they're not supposed to do, but then they do it any damn way. Not supposed to be a player when you're trying to build a life together with somebody, but looks like they did that anyway. Nine of Wands, Sagittarius energy of being walled off and defensive. This is also an energy of healing. This is the wounded warrior. He's trying to protect himself, so the wall comes up around him as a defense mechanism, as a way to protect himself. So this is probably feeling like protecting yourself from them because they hurt you and not wanting to get hurt anymore. That's probably the barrier that you have erected now to prevent them from getting through with this cup of love. There's still this element of confusion here, and I think they're probably trying to cloud your judgment, cloud your decision making here to get you to come out from behind that wall and lay the sword down. And we got Five of Wands here, Leo energy, internal conflict, a conflict in your desires. A piece of you probably does want to lower the wall and accept them back and build a life with them. And another piece of you is probably like, ain't happening that way, Queen of Swords mode. So this is that internal conflict where you're torn between those two things and playing this battle of tug of war inside yourself about what it is you actually want. This Five of Wands is unique. There's normally 5 dudes beating the snot out of each other with sticks. And in this deck, there's still 5 guys here 4 of them are blindfolded, 4 of them are whacking each other with the sticks, and the other guy isn't blindfolded, and he's not swinging the stick, he's using it to hold himself up, and he's actually laughing at these idiots while they're beating each other up. And there's even a beehive above their head that none of them knows about, but he does, and it's about to get a whole lot worse of a situation. This is feeling like the one piece of you that knows the truth versus the other pieces of you that probably have all this passion and desire to build a life with this person. And there's one piece of you that really knows what's going on here, and you should not ignore that piece of yourself. I think that piece is getting you to stay behind your wall and protect yourself so that this can't move forward like they're trying to make it happen. And it would look to me like they still have the other person on the side. And this is a case of like, if you take them back, then this would be filling the cup back up with you. And if you don't, no big deal. I still get my happiness and wish fulfillment and my jollies anyway, because I got this other cup that I could go to. Now, if you still have questions about this situation or your relationship, click on any of the videos that just appeared on your screen right now. When you do, you'll be taken to more Virgo love readings that can give you more insight and more clarity about what's really going on in your particular situation. And I'll see you in the next video.